So this is a demonstration of different layout techniques or different layout options that you can do on a website. I happen to be using a WordPress theme called Generatepress, which is basically just like an empty skeleton with a lot of nice features. And I have this site set up, demo site, and the colors are pretty horrible, but they are there just to show you where borders are and where containers exist on the page. Now if you see the white, if you see the top white here, there we go. This is the title. This is like a little tagline. The title could be an image. We also have a menu over here, and the menu we'll see later when it's on a mobile site will turn into like a little hamburger menu with a drop down. But basically what you want is you want a site that's responsive. You have boxes here that are each 50% of the width. You have another box that's 100% of the width. You also have red, which is the actual background color of the entire website, if you wanted it that way, but it's just to show you options here. Now if you were to look at this on an iPad or a tablet, it would be a little bit smaller. But still the boxes are still 50%, 50%. The height is set to be as high as the highest box. So if that weren't set, then you would see this whole area would be red here because that's the background color. This blue box would be like this. But you can set it to 100%, which works nicely when you're updating content that's different on a regular basis. Now, if you were to look at this as on a phone, first of all, you look at the menu here. See how it drops to this little hamburger menu. It drops down. But also these boxes now, instead of them being 50% and 50%, it switches to 100% of the width. And that looks much nicer on a phone because on a phone 50% would be very, very tiny. So this is what's called responsive web design. Another thing we want to look at here is we want to look at the width here. So this is full width. Now you see this on a lot of websites, a lot of modern websites. It makes everything look really big. But sometimes you don't want the full width. You don't want it to be so like, and you may not be able to see this, but I mean it's just big. You know, you want it to be a little bit more contained. Full width is nice sometimes, but there's a way to do it where you're actually containing the borders here. So what I'm going to do is this would be the edit page. I'll make it look a little bit easier for you to see here. Edit page. And what I want to do with this page is I want to make it, instead of the content container being full width, I'm just going to make it the default. I'm going to update that. The default being contained. And now when I refresh this page, you see that it's more contained. The background of the whole site is red. The background of the container is white. Now if we shrink it, you see the container is still there. We get to 50% and it's still there. So there's a little border around it. And you can set the default width to the container, and I think it looks kind of nice. And with these ugly colors, it doesn't really help, but maybe you can just sort of get an idea of how you want the website to be. And the same goes for this this top piece here, the title and the menu. You can make those contained too. So I could come in here, header, that's what I want. I don't want the header width to be full. I want it to be contained. Yeah, I can make that contained too. I can also, so if I publish that, you can see that it just makes that container, that piece contain a little bit more. So if you contain the middle, the body, you would want that on the top too. Some other things you could do, if you were to go to layout and then navigation, you see it's on the right here. You could also make it on the left if you wanted to. So the navigation's on the left and the title's on the right. You don't really see that. That's not that common. You could also make it below the header. You could make it above the header. And let's do below the header. And then the navigation alignment would be center. And then we could also do the header alignment be center. And so if we save that, we go back to the site, you have it a little bit lower. And of course this container isn't the same here, but that can be fixed. So you would have the title of the website here and then the menu here, or vice versa, or you could have the menu over on the right. Just depends on what you want. So there are a lot of different options here. Another thing that you see on a lot of websites is, and I'll go to a different page here, this is called the sample page, and you see there's this little sidebar area on the right, and this is called sample page, and this might be search feature, recent posts, or whatever you want, images, ads, whatever you want to put on the sidebar there. One thing you can do, and I will go to the sample page here, come out of there, edit the sample page. You can put the sidebar on the left. Let's just say you wanted to do that. And see that? You could put it there. If you created another page, well, let's put this back on the right. So let's just say we add a new page, and we call this page another page. And here is my other page info. We publish that page. Then we go to look at it. And you see it's also got that sidebar. It's just automatic. And the content of what we wrote is here on the left. And so if you wanted to do a sidebar, you could do that. You don't have to, but it's a nice feature to put universal information on every page in a way that's kind of out of the way and makes it each page uniform. A lot of times you don't see that on the home page, but you will see it on sample page, that kind of thing. And then if you wanted to, let's just say you wanted to add that another page to the sample. I'm sorry, if you wanted to add another page to the menu here, we could just come in and some menus, menu 1, add items, add another page, publish. So you see we have another page now on the menu. So it's pretty easy to add menu items if you want to. And we get out of that. Let's go back to the demo site. So we go to another page, the sample page. You can see they both have the sidebar that stays the same way. And then the other thing that it's pretty easy to do with this is add images. So let's go back to the home page. I want to add an image to this yellow box here. So I could just go to edit page. I could come over here and I'm going to add an image here. Let's see. Nope, I'm going to add a block, which I'm going to add an image. I can either upload the image or I can go to the media library. There's nothing in there right now, but go to upload and Vatican. And you can see that I have a picture of the Vatican here. Update that. Come back to the home page. You can see I've added it to the top here. Now let's say I wanted to add it, I wanted to change where it is in the container itself. So I could align it left. And I could also shrink it and add it to the left here. And then update it. Come back here. And there it is. Pretty easy. You can move it around. And notice that these boxes haven't changed. This is still 100%. We still have the mobile. So there's a lot you can do with this. The menu now is in the middle here on mobile. So this is just some starters having to do with the width, having to do with the containers, having to do with sidebars, other pages, and editing. So hopefully this gives you some ideas of what you want on your own website, and start the conversation there. Okay.